Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name's Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about the dark night of the soul or a difficult part of someone's spiritual journey coming to a close. This experience has taught you a lot, but it's time for that next chapter. We have a sense of someone having like a sigh of relief, like, okay, maybe now I have the green light to go after what I want, or now it's like you're sitting pretty. You're where you need to be to get what you want. And I feel like for many of you, this is talking about a reunion. So keep in mind, this could be a reunion with a soulmate that you haven't met yet, if that makes sense to you, I hope. But for others of you, this is somebody that you have been wanting to see again, or you've wanting to, find a way to run into them again. And you've done the work. If you've done the work, then you have that that moment, right? So it's kind of like you're graduating, right? Let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. Oh, it's just a little bit. Hello, Holly Yoga. Hello, Peggy. What's up, Archetype? Thank you. Now I'm tempted to tell them why you told me that. Nah, we're not going to give life to that. That's okay. All right, so this is the Golden Lenormand. Let's see what we've got for you. If you would like a personal reading with me, my email address is in the description box below. What else do we have? Yep, that makes sense. Okay, that does too. So we've got the envelope, the message, number 27, and the writer, Rider. I always spell it because for me, when I hear writer, I think of somebody who like writes a book, And it's interesting because it is coming out with the envelope, but this is somebody who I think is going to let you know they're back in town, or they're interested in buying a ticket, or they're wanting to find a way to, join you. You go to a party. This is somebody who wants to see you. We're going to start with the Morgan Greer. I hope you get that. All right, what else do we have? Ace of Cups. Ten of Swords in the reverse. Empress. So we have healing that has taken place for perhaps more than one person, but specifically the one that went through the dark night of the soul. They're coming out as the Empress. So good work. This is understanding the emotional side, or healing what has made it difficult to connect people in a way that feels real. This is letting go of trauma, perhaps, or letting go of preconceptions around relationships, self-worth, or, what love looks like. I think for many of you, this Ace of Cups, it's really easy to see that as, hey, I'm in love with you. I want to be with you for the rest of my life. Here's this Ace of Cups for you, right? This is often about loving yourself, being good to yourself. So because it's right before the Ten of Swords in the reverse, I do think there's, maybe a chance it's inspired because they love somebody. But this is, I'm going to do right by myself. I have to do what I need to do to, let go of the things that don't really help me become the best version of myself. I have to challenge myself to not be afraid of the job I want, the connection I want, the soul tribe I want, the relationship with my parents that I want, whatever it is. This is, I was letting the wrong things lead me, or, control my decisions. There's a pretty significant shift in this person's mindset, and it feels like they've had to go through everything they believed and kind of check off, like, is this actually what I feel? Is this actually what I want to be about? And they may be feeling like, I don't know, I've never run a marathon, but for whatever reason, I want to say they may feel like they just ran a marathon and they can't really catch their breath. It's been a long journey. But again, I'm proud of you. Hello, Brad. How are you doing? Hello, Books. What's going on? Bradley, I always have to spell it out just for that reason. Granted, I don't really have, like, there's a higher percentage of it being Rider than anything else. In the character oracle, I do have, like, the author type writer. But... So we've got Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, 5 of Wands in the reverse, Page of Swords in the reverse. This person has dealt with greed, perhaps their own, or dealing with people that were trying to take things from them. They have dealt with doubt, trying to understand themselves, and they've dealt with people trying to slander their name or gossip about them, ruin their reputation. These are, I think, the elements of the dark night of the soul, or the lessons that they've gone through. I am a firm believer that to become the richest version of yourself in terms of character, understanding, compassion, understanding what direction you want to go in life, you learn that after you go through, or because you go through difficult times. You experience loss, you experience trauma, you have to question yourself, you have to build yourself back up, right? This is somebody who has seen difficult times. I really hope things are already starting to feel better for you, but if they don't, they're about to. It's how you realize what's important. Page of Rods or Page of Wands in the reverse, 10 of Pentacles in the World. This is, what are my long-term goals? Who do I want to be like? Is there someone in my family that I need to work to be like, or work to make sure I don't become? It's like I had the wrong impression of what I wanted to be, or what I saw as being important, and I had to really, like, edit it, you know? I've written a lot of papers, a few pretty long ones and one in Spanish. And sometimes you think you have the best thing you could put together because you've been working on it for 8 hours or whatever it is, and you just want to go to sleep. And then you take a look at it the next day and you're like, what hot piece of garbage is this? This is awful. I thought this was a sentence. I don't think you're a bad WRITER. I think that you realized you had misconceptions, or there were things that you believed that now you no longer subscribe to. Now you have a different, like, subscription for your eyesight, you know? Prescription? There it is. Hello, Miss G. Hello, Brad. Thank you so much, Pete Douglas. I appreciate you. I hope you're all having a good night. So this is a way to elevate from that experience they knew wasn't right anymore, right? I know what I can change. I know what I can do differently because I've gone through this difficult lesson. And I really want to make sure that you've heard that somebody's proud of you, because this is not easy. It is almost always done by yourself. It has almost always felt like, okay, I thought I had friends, and then boom, 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 you all turned your backs on me. It was like one of the worst weekends ever. This is a few years back. I had 2 friends of mine get in an argument with me, like, the same weekend, and they were my 2 closest friends at the time. And I was like, really? Like, I have to lose 2 of my favorite people, the people that I tell everything to, the same weekend over weird things? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. You might find that there's rapid change or things that maybe they come in threes, right? Things that change much more rapidly than you thought because you're being moved to a different situation, or because you need to be maybe more honest with yourself about, was this where I wanted to live? Is this the crowd I want to hang out with? Is this the community I want to be a part of? Is this the job I want to be working? We have questions about what kind of opportunities you see value in. With Strength in the reverse, this feels to me like I'm prioritizing what makes me money versus what I want to do with my life. Or I'm prioritizing being with somebody that can pay my bills versus somebody that can make me laugh. Ace of Wands, High Priestess in the reverse. It's like this new beginning they envisioned had a set of directions they believe to be true. But the only way they can actually find this difficult to find, let's pretend it's like a nightclub, right? Like those, what do they call them? Like prohibition area. Why can't I think of it, you guys? It's because I took a nap today. My brain is just kind of like, you can't just find this easily. Or that movie Big Fish, where that cute little town with the shoes thrown over the power lines. It's not easy to find your way out, apparently. Not always easy to find your way to that town. This is somebody who realizes, if I want what I want, I have to go not that direction because it hasn't been working. I need to be honest with myself that I need to go this way or do something different. For some of you, this person who's traveling with a message has more than one message to deliver. It could be initially that there is somebody that needs to be kind of updated. Hey, I've changed my mind, or hey, I've decided I'm going to move here. Hey, I'm going to have to put in my 2 weeks. I can't do this anymore. This is not what I want to do. This is the end of the road for me here, because I'm moving over there, or because I'm moving on with my life, or because I got a better offer with this job that feels more fulfilling. This is realizing what real value is. Have you ever seen the most ridiculous, as far as high price, ridiculous square footage, looks like a college campus instead of a house, like properties online? Sometimes it's fun to look through and be like, oh, wow, that's cool. You have, 3 pools and like 18 garages. Good for you. But the more I've looked at those kind of things, I find I prize, or I really do find greater value in a sense of, okay, you look at this property and there's like a sense of coziness. You want to sit there and read a book, or you want to, cook a meal in that kitchen. Not, oh, cool, there's 7 refrigerators and a wine cooler and 8 sinks and 2 dining room tables, and you could invite 60 people. I don't know if I want to invite 60 people. It's like, now I realize bigger isn't always better, or more money isn't always more happy. I know now what actually has value for me. Hello, realm of bedlam. Meow. How we doing? What's up, Aqua Beauty? I hope you're having a good night, hun. This is the 8 of Cups. Yeah, walking away from that false value, the things that they maybe thought were sparkly and cool and wanted to be able to brag about. It's not their thing anymore. So one of my goals that I don't know. I don't even know why I have it. It's not like I'm a farmer or like a construction worker, but I want like an old beat up truck someday. just because, like, it's nice to have something that has, you know, air conditioning and like power steering and all the little bells and whistles or whatever. But there's also something really cool about a truck that you can just like throw furniture in the back or like, oops, scratched a little bit on the side, but you know, it is like 40 years old. So, like, whatever. This person is like seeing value in an old truck. Now, don't you get offended if you're the old truck. I'm not telling you you're old and beat up and nobody wants you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you're appreciating that there is variety in what makes sense. There is value that sometimes gets ascribed unfairly, or people assume, of course, you want the top of the line, or of course, you want to spend the most money, or of course, I want to make sure everyone thinks I'm rich. I don't want to drive the coolest car because I don't need anybody trying to, like, you know, think they should make it theirs. I don't want to live in the biggest house because then you have to clean all those toilets. Okay, I have logic. Like, I will not be able to remember who said this, but I'm pretty sure it was maybe early 1900s, maybe an author or a philosopher. Maybe. But he said, after having lost his wealth, well, I realized at some point that I could only ever be in one room at a time. If I had like 18 rooms in a house, could I even justify using them all? I guess it depends on how many cats I have. So this is somebody realizing some of the things they thought were really cool, or like a sign of status, or something they wanted to strive for. It's not really their thing anymore. It's not really their goal. Six of Swords, King of Swords in the reverse. I feel like for many of you, we have somebody here who is putting some distance between them and a difficult family member, somebody who may have set a bad example or given bad advice, had some beliefs that were pessimistic. And there's reason to have hope or a different perspective because of this dark night of the soul. It's not always just, you know, doom and gloom with the dark night of the soul. There's going to be moments of light, and a lot of times, this is so perfect, you end up realizing that light is literally emanating from you. Because where's all the light? It's around this person. So yes, you're walking through the darkness, but you realize that you know, can just go boop with the light. I had to walk through my backyard when it was already dark outside, and it's like rustic out here. Okay, you guys. And I was so thankful. I had my phone in my pocket, so I just, you know, turned on the flashlight or whatever, and it was fine. But if I hadn't done that, I totally would have tripped over something that was in the sidewalk. So I was really glad that I did that. But this is like, you have that flashlight. You have the ability to illuminate what's in front of you and be able to choose that right path. And where previously I think we had somebody willing to hold back or, you know, follow the not so great advice of somebody that has traveled this path before you, you decided to do something different. You decided to switch it up. Maybe you're actually a little bit stubborn, but I think it's more so that you wanted to have a different outcome. You wanted to maybe even be a little bit of a experimenter, a scientist. Hello, Matt. How are you doing? What else do we have? That's a valid question, Jess. We've got Nine of Cups in the reverse and Death in the reverse. Chariot in the reverse. I think we had somebody kind of like hit a wall. Like, dang, I really can't do this anymore. Or I can't do this job anymore. I can't be around these friends anymore. I don't want to be in this kind of relationship anymore. I don't want to be dealing with the negativity of my parent anymore. This is like I think I'm just ready to throw in the towel on that part of my life, on that perspective, perhaps. And it's tied to this idea of doing right by yourself. I'm not going to feel a responsibility to somebody that doesn't ever show me care or empathy or general support. Like if you're just hateful and cruel and mean and you want to like make me follow your rules, I'm going to start questioning whether or not that's an influence that I want in my life. So we have somebody learning these lessons after acknowledging that there's a need to change and a need to let go of certain things because they don't want to repeat the same cycle. Four of Cups, Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, Page of Pentacles in the reverse. Why would I think that I could get different results if I keep doing the same things, if I keep listening to the same people, if I keep doing whatever it is my best friend tells me? I'm going to think for myself. I'm going to learn from what I've experienced, and I'm going to do something different. So this kind of just made me think of this time I had to call into YouTube because I was setting up my second channel and I had some technical issues because it was only viewing me as Wicked Wands, not as the Curious Carmen channel that I have. And so I sat there like dealing with this support person for an hour and then realized I knew the solution to the problem. And I didn't want to listen to their stupid like tier 1 troubleshooting. Like, no. I literally did that 3 times before I even talked to you people. Like, I'm not going to repeat the same thing that then you made me do after I'd already done it. Like, we know that doesn't work, okay? We could retire that. That's not a thing. But this over here, this is different. And this is what I think it is. Could you just like confirm? Do you know? They didn't know. So I just had to be like, okay, well, let's see what happens. And I did my own little technical support and I solved the problem. This is somebody realizing that support that I think is supposed to be helpful may not know what I really need. Maybe I have the answers. Maybe I need to adjust whatever, my thought was before I got into this situation. So there's a willingness it's like I want to retain or take with me the things that have made me a better person from that part of my life. I have good memories, or maybe I have, this best friend over here, or I got closer to my cousin. But I'm ready for something different. I'm ready to start living in a better way or having more happiness because I'm not dealing with curmudgeon. Hey, Tiana, what's going on? Ooh, how's the drive home? Be careful. All right. Ace of Cups again, 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, and the 4 of Swords in the reverse. Let me pull one more. And the Hierophant. I have my new playbook. I have my new Bible. I have my new approach to life. I have what my core beliefs are. I was, walking around with somebody else's rules, and I decided I didn't like them because they didn't make me feel good about myself. They didn't make me feel like I was worthy, or they didn't let me grow the way that I'm supposed to, or follow the purpose that I believe I have in my life. This could be, I don't really want to live the way my parents lived, or I don't want to live the way my siblings lived. I'm going to do something a little bit different. And I think it really does work for this person. Whoever you are, these lessons you've learned, you are absolutely wiser for it. I feel this Hierophant is you. You may have felt lost or like you didn't necessarily have that path clearly illuminated before you, but then you realize you had that phone in your pocket and you're like, boop, okay, we're good. Now I know where I'm going. All right, this is the signs of the times. What else do we have? succulence, resilience. Number 38. This is you surviving on very little sustenance, not getting a lot of support from other people, having to make the most of the sunshine or the happiness that you did find. You know, what joy is there? Not much, but I'm going to try to appreciate it, even though things might have been dreary, right? And then because of this dry season, because of this difficult part of your life where people were really challenging your beliefs or your opinions of them, challenging your discernment or your intuition, we have a lot of growth. I understand. I know what I need to do. I know what I want. I know what was holding me back. I know that that perception or that way of life isn't for me or is for me. This is the Fairy Godmother Oracle. I like that. We've got abandonment and exertion. Leaving behind that lifestyle that felt like you never really got back the energy that you put forth, right? I'm over here spinning my wheels, trying to find a way to be your best friend, or trying to find a way to be a good daughter or be a good son or be a good sibling, right? But no matter how much effort I put into it, no matter how much I'm trying to make things work, you're not putting in that effort or you're not willing to acknowledge it. Maybe I just need to realize that there's a different workout machine I could go use and I wouldn't have to pedal as hard. This is about how much effort do I have to put in if somebody is not putting in any, right? Or why am I trying to live by someone else's rules if I don't necessarily believe in those rules? This is the situation side. We've got the crushed card, sad, broken, feeling alone, alien, telepathic, dreams, songs, and recalling. All right, y'all. So here's the thing. This person's going through these lessons, going through this dark night of the soul, and it brings about these sad, broken, or feeling alone emotions. But this is when that Ace of Cups starts coming into play. I'm going to pay closer attention to my intuition. I may have dreams where I'm being advised to do right by myself or make a change. Maybe it's even, wouldn't you be happy living over here? Or wouldn't you be happier if you were doing this for work instead? And it starts this person imagining things. I do feel like for many of you, this recalling card is specifically talking about somebody saying, I know I love that person. I'm not going to let them, walk out of my life. I'm going to do something to make sure that they know how I feel about them. But for others of you, this is, I know what I can take with me as far as memories or things that I appreciate from this chapter of my life or from my youth. But I also know that if I'm going to continue feeling crushed or alone when I deal with you, I'd rather be lonely. I'd rather be on my own. So, departure, 8 of Cups. We've got the Twin Flame card. The one, Mirrored Souls, Pledged. I don't really like that they have the word pledged on this card. If you know my channel, you probably already know why. In my personal belief, Twin Flame, journeys are really about how you perceive your own value, how you pursue your own development, ascension, enlightenment, getting through difficult times and finding a way to place the value appropriately in the things in your life so that you can find that happiness and stability. And if you and this person who mirrors you both pursue that path, you end up having this reconciliation. But there's also a possibility, if you remember at the very beginning, I said this could also be a reunion with somebody that you have not met yet. It depends on, have these two individuals done their healing? But I love that we have the Hierophant, because this is somebody who has figured out what they needed to. Oh, you guys, is that not the perfect card? I was really saying, like, it's dependent upon whether or not you've accepted, this is what I need to work on, and this is where I want to be. I've been through some difficult things, but I'm not going to let that prevent me from going, towards that thing that makes me happy, or being that person that I feel is my authentic self. This is the Kipper. Yes, I like that, Peggy. She says that pledged could be more about pledging yourself to a higher standard. So we've got poverty. I do feel like for many of you, this dark night of the soul involved a sense of financial constraint or concerns over what you should do for work or how you should pay the bills. But what I see in front of you or in the near future is a sense of abundance. I know I can cover what I need to, and I've got this discretionary money. What shall I do with it? We've got House in the reverse and Journey in the reverse. Interesting. Oh. So this person who's traveling and possibly, feels like they have to deliver a message or have a serious conversation. This could be love, right? With the twin flame card coming out. This could be indicative that we have somebody feeling like, if I don't take my chance now, or if I don't travel now, then I may not be able to find this person again. What if they're moving? What if I move? What if they start a relationship next month? There's a question of, like, if not now, when? And would I be missing out on my chance altogether? Got main female in the reverse, wealthy man. So there's somebody here who has been, I think, rejected. We're talking about twin flames, so this literally could be for both people. They may have had the same kind of lesson to learn or obstacle, but there was a challenge here of somebody who maybe was in a better situation financially, especially if they were going through poverty. This person would have been tempted to be in a side mission or in a fake relationship just to have things be easier for them financially. But I feel one or both of these individuals were like, nope, I will figure it out on my own. It's not worth it. I'm not going to be in a fake relationship. Not interested. Hello, upper echelon. I don't think so. Yes, one from the first tarot deck. Yep. New chapter. Oh, so we've got message in the reverse. Why we got it in the reverse? Oh, it's perhaps still talking about this person who's been rejected, or the I could be in this relationship. Yeah. So we've got communication having been ended with somebody that may have been helpful from a partnership or a financial standpoint, but it's not who you actually love. It's not who you actually want to be with. And there's a rejection here. So this is no, I don't feel that kind of feelings for you. So I'm not going to pursue something with you just for the sake of being like in a codependent connection, right? Yes. Hello, France. How are you doing? All right, let's pull. Let's go with a couple from Wild Reflections, and then we'll call it a day. What else do we need to know? Two of Cups. Three of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. So there was an obstacle here that has to do with a third party, parent, sibling, maybe even a job for some of you. And it broke these two people apart or caused some separation. And yet they're still facing each other. They're still thinking about it. And there's this sense of loss. I invested in this, or I dreamt of this. I wanted to know where this could go, but I feel like it's lost. Page of Cups in the reverse. The Fool in the reverse and the Chariot in the reverse. Because I made a decision that was the wrong move. I decided I needed to stay where I was, or I decided I didn't need to change, or it was too much work. I have too much to lose. And then they ended up realizing by not challenging themselves or actually going through with that invitation to learn a lesson or go through that dark night of the soul, that something was like bothering them. They felt, I think with this alien card, they may have been having dreams or seeing things in terms of billboards or hearing things with regards to like lyrics of songs that made them question a decision they've made. And I think with the Seven of Swords, that's when they realized I was lying to myself about the situation, or somebody else has, you know, taught me things that are not valid. Strength. Ace of Cups in the reverse. So I would prefer to see this Ace of Cups in the upright. But I think what we realize with this pair is that somebody had to actually learn from what made them decline real love or not want to be open to unconditional love. I have to figure out why I am accepting codependent toxic connections, or why I ran away from something that I actually thought was real. This is what they had to heal from. So we've got Three of Cups in the reverse and Justice. A major element of this spiritual awakening or this ascension is understanding what needs to be prioritized in terms of the connections, those that, you know, help you ask questions of yourself, help you, you know, get those reality checks when you need to know things are maybe not quite as what you thought they were. Thank you so much, dude. And I think this is bringing things back into balance. The Three of Cups being in the reverse, to me, it's interesting because we're talking about a reunion. I would think that would come out in the upright, but this is also clarifying the tendency to like walk away from things, right? I've been avoiding a reunion because of fear, perhaps, or because I needed to work through these things. You may get like a sign of gratitude for being patient with them, but they have found a greater sense of balance in their life, probably because they have gotten some distance from not so great friends or family members that were unreliable or even selfish. So things are looking up. Whoever I'm reading for, it's not been an easy road, but it's about to get much easier. So, or at least more enjoyable, you know? Someone's going to toss you a water bottle. All right. Hello, Christine. How are you doing? I hope you all are having a good night. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes and for being awesome. I will see you on the next reading. Doodles.